Hey all, welcome to ShareTrack. This is Raj here. Yesterday I couldn't resist doing the technical analysis even before the market closed because the charts were looking so great and there are so many bullish signs out there that I had to do the video. And again, today is the day when we generally do our technical analysis. So I thought that let us do the technical analysis again. And not much has changed, but I have some more information that I have picked up from different places. I want to share that with you. I'll keep it very short. The charts are looking very, very interesting and very bullish. So keeping fingers crossed that we take off from there, even though fundamentals are not that promising. So let's get started. So the week ended really good, despite the fact that I was worried about options, expiry and all those things. Everything looks bullish right now. And in yesterday's video, technical analysis video, I'd already shown you a few cup and handle patterns. Today I have some reverse head and shoulder patterns to show you and a few more quips from some people that I generally follow when they make some pronouncements. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Let's get started by going into the TradingView platform first. Friends, here we are in the TradingView platform, and what I have here is the QQQ. And this is what I wanted to show you. This is what I was excited about to show you. We have stopped exactly at the channel that I had drawn earlier, and that channel happens to be at 298.20, and we have stopped at 296.26. So we went past it and then we were pushed back down again. So it's very, very close. Just a few cents separating us from the limit. So this is the upper limit. Instead of putting it red, I put that as fluorescent blue because as you can see, there's a fluorescent blue line below and there's a fluorescent blue line above. And here you will see that this was 14th of September 2022. If you look at the bottom of the screen, just below where I have my pointer, you will find it says 14th of September 2022. So since 14th of September 2022, we have never been able to close above this line. We may have gone up, but we fell down. And I had drawn this line for the cup and handle out here to show that this is going to be our target. So the target has already been achieved. And the cup and handle is out here. See, this is the cup. This is where the cup is. And this green line is the neckline. So the same distance from bottom to here is the distance from the neckline to the target. So the target for us was at 296.70 and we stopped the day at 296.26 after having reached 298.48. So we exceeded the target. So now the question is, are we going to continue on our way up or are we going to fall down? One promising aspect is that the MACD is bullish. Another promising aspect is that RSI is not yet overbought. It's not overheated. So it has a little more fuel left in it, but not too much. After that, it has to consolidate. So we are seeing the challenge out here. The main thing, important thing for us is to break through this horizontal line of resistance, which is forming our channel. And the positive aspect is that we were in a bear channel continuously coming down. We continuously had lower lows, but now out here you can see that we have not had new lower lows. The lows have been held in check at 260.59 by this horizontal line of support, which forms the bottom of the channel. So this is the support of the channel, this is the resistance of the channel. Now the question is, are we going to break through this on Monday? And if I was to look at the futures seem to indicate that yes, we are going to break through it because futures are up 0.95 and it broke through a resistance which was at 12,168.25 and it has closed above that. So we are clearly out of the bear channel as far as the Nasdaq future is concerned. And also we have broken above the horizontal line of resistance that we had out there. So that's another positive. And again, here you would see that we don't have any lower lows. Instead, we have got higher lows out here. This is a higher low out here. This is another higher low. And it's a very, very steep trajectory. I typically hate steep trajectories, but the good news is that we don't have gap ups. So that's a very positive news out here. Now let's go back to QQQ and have a look at whether QQQ has any gap ups. We don't have a gap up in QQQ. So this is also looking pretty good to me. So I'm cautiously optimistic that we are going to be positive. And if you look at US dollar index, it's continuing to go down. It has consolidated a little bit, but it's still in the bear channel. Momentum is also very low. MACD is also bearish, so I don't see the dollar index jumping anytime soon. So that's also a good development. And then we have oil, which is also consolidating, but it's on a bull channel. We want to see the oil price either consolidate or come into this bear channel. One of those two things will be a good outcome for us. Now let us go on to the index movers, and this is what I want to show you. If we look at Microsoft, I'm here in the chart for Microsoft, and I have changed the chart type from candlesticks to line chart so that we can see this pattern very clearly, because candlestick doesn't show this pattern clearly. And I'm on a daily time frame, so all the movements are daily, and this chart is a long-term chart. And if this was a candle chart, then each candle would have been a one-day candle, the standard thing that we use. But here what I want you to focus on is that we have a reverse head and shoulder out here. This is a reverse head and shoulder formation. And if I was to find the neckline and draw a line out there, and then if I was to clone that and move it up and change the color so that you can see what the second line looks like. So this is the second line, this blue line. Let me change the color from blue to maybe orange. Okay, so this is the line. Now this gives us a target of somewhere around 254.82 for Microsoft. And Microsoft is on its way. It has converted one of the resistance at 245.15 into a support. And now it is coming across the next resistance, which is at 249.86. There is plenty of room for the RSI to go up. And MACD is also bullish. And we have dividends coming up on 15th of February. And in their earnings, they are done pretty well. Revenue has gone down just marginally, not too much, just marginally. Microsoft is a great company. I think it would do very well. I don't have any concerns about Microsoft. So Microsoft will definitely help the index move up. Now we are talking, whenever I'm saying index move up, I'm looking at QQQ and looking at the forces that will push us above this fluorescent blue line and take us out of this range of consolidation. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Now let's go on to Apple. Now Apple again has broken past one of the resistance, which was at 142.27. So I'm going to mark it green. And now our next resistance is at 146.58. We have got a bullish MACD, and RSI has a little more room to go up, and we have earnings coming up on 2nd February. So this is going to be a critical event. As I mentioned in my earlier video, on 2nd of February and on 1st of February, we are going to have results. I think Meta is reporting on the 1st, and on the 2nd, Apple is reporting, and I think even Google might be reporting. So those are going to shape the market sentiment, and they have the potential of pushing us past this consolidation line of resistance and take us out above that. Once we go above that, then if you look at the overall context, friends, you are looking at us breaking out of the bear channel and breaking out of the secondary bear channel, and then making our way up when it comes to QQQ. So it's looking pretty good out here, and that's why I thought I'll make this video. Now let's look at Amazon. Amazon is again reporting on 2nd Feb. So Amazon is the other company that's going to report, and it's going to report on 2nd Feb. And it has got a long way to go up. Now, when it comes to Amazon, I would just like to change this into candlestick pattern to show you the fact that there is a gap down, which has to be filled up. This whole area has to be filled up. And to do that, Amazon has to pick up a lot. And when you look at the RSI out here, there is a little way up for RSI. It doesn't have too much before it gets overheated. So a little room for RSI to go up, and then it has to consolidate. So Amazon definitely, for at least Monday, it's going to give a little bit of a boost. Everything depends on what they report in terms of outlook. And if you look at Google, again, Google has got its earnings on 2nd of February. So 2nd of February is a very, very big day for us, my friends. And again, if you look at Google, let me go into the line chart, because today I'm thinking more line chart. You can already see that we have a double bottom out here, after which Google has been picking up. And I'm going to remove all these lines. Because when I was looking at it, let me redo this. Let me show you what I was looking at. Why I had the... I was looking at this as a cup and this as a handle, and that gives me a target of around 110.45. We have the RSI, which still has got plenty of room to move up, and we have the MACD, which is bullish. So everything depends on the earnings. When the earnings come out on 2nd of February, and here we have the moon sign out here, which means after market close. So Google is reporting after market close on 2nd. Amazon is reporting after market close on 2nd. Apple is reporting after market close on 2nd. So all of them are going to be determining the future of QQQ. So that's the thing I wanted to talk to you about. It's looking positive. Now let us look at another ticker which is very interesting. It is FNGU. So it contains all the FANG stocks. And when I look at FNGU, this is what it looks like. If I do a cup, this is the cup. And if I continue to do the target estimation, then I'm looking at a target here of 71.16, and the target has already been achieved, and we are going further up. Now, the next line of resistance that we might see out here, so FNG would mirror the FANG stocks. So this is a secondary confirmation. And in FNGU, as you see, I have the target out here and we already shot past the target. But if I was to go further and do a little more drawing of resistance lines, so we have a resistance line out here. I'm just going to mark this red. And the other resistance line that I can see is somewhere out here. This is where I would draw the next resistance line. Just a little lower, just a little lower. Yeah. So this is where I'll draw the next resistance line at 75.55. So we have to see on Monday after the results from Apple, Google, and Amazon, if we are able to break past this. So again, this is looking bullish, but it is overheated. RSI is overbought and MACD is still bullish. And when it comes to RSI, in the past also, we have gone above being overbought for extended periods of time. So this cannot just be a limitation by default. There is a potential for FNG to go above this because it's a consolidation of 3 or 4 really strong stocks which move the index. So I'm pretty optimistic about that. Among genomic stocks, we have Invitae, which has got the potential of reaching a target price of 3.23, provided it breaks through this line of resistance at 2.56. And if the overall market tomorrow goes positive, then I do not see any reason why Invitae won't go positive. And in which case, it's all poised to meet a target of 3.25. So that's one possibility out there. And if you were to look at other shares, let me see if I spot any patterns. Yeah, Bionanogenomics again has got the pattern, which I think is a bullish pattern. There's the cup, this is the handle, same like Invitae. It needs to break out and go above. And it has got a resistance out here, which is holding it back right now. This is the resistance, and which kind of becomes a support for us. So we have to bounce off this support and go up. And if we did that, then I think our target price is going to be somewhere around, let us do this. We'd be looking at a target price of $2.07. That's what I think is the target price for Bionano. And let us look at others. Who else do we have here? PSAB is also looking good. I think it's forming a bullish pennant, and it's likely to break out on the upward side. So overall, I think all of these look pretty good. Well, from a technical perspective, they're all looking good. I also was wondering about the job losses in tech companies. If you recollect, Microsoft let go of a good deal of people. Amazon did the same. Apple did the same. And overall, I think there's been a lot of job losses in the tech sector. I was listening to an interview with Kara Swisher. She's a tech correspondent. I like to follow her thoughts because she has some really good insights. And when asked about the layoffs in tech sector and whether it's a sign that tech sector is getting weak, she said something which really appealed to me. What she said is that the tech companies went on a hiring spree and they recruited a lot of people when the going was good, and now all they are doing is adjusting back to normal levels by letting go of excess staff. And I don't think that's going to be a big problem. And the other thing is that people who have been let go by tech companies are possibly finding jobs elsewhere because the job market continues to remain tight. So that's a positive. But if we keep all these things aside after Monday, until Monday, I'm pretty clear that this looks good. So we have a trading day of Monday to have this kind of mindset, because nothing is changing. But on Monday after hours, when all these tech companies report their results, it's going to depend on two things. Are they meeting expectations of the street, both in terms of EPS and in terms of revenue? If the answer is yes, that is great. If they fall behind on the revenue slightly but met the EPS, that's also good. If they meet the EPS and the revenue, that's also good. If they fall short, a little bit of falling short can be tolerated. The share price may fall down, but what is their outlook for the first quarter of 2024 is going to be very critical. And that's where we have to watch very carefully, I believe, on what Apple is going to say, what Amazon is going to say, and what Google is going to say is going to be the performance in Q1 2023. And that's the main point. That's what is going to drive the market. So when we wake up on the 3rd of January and wait for the market open, we would have already had the information, and it will be very interesting to see whether technicals will trump fundamentals, or the fundamentals are improving and probably we don't know, and that's getting reflected in the technicals. It's a chicken and egg story. But for any strong and reliable prediction, you need to have technicals and fundamentals both supporting the premise. Right now, only technicals are supporting the bullish thesis, fundamentals are not. So let's see what happens on Monday. I wish you guys all the very best, and I'll catch up with you again on Sunday. Bye for now.